Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. This is day 22, post 22 of the 30-day exploration of your potential and alchemy. Thank you so much for being here. I'd just like to start I'd just like to start by saying thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you've bought me some coffee in the Buy Me a Coffee link, I really appreciate it. And it's great to have this kind of feedback and encouragement, also through the comments that you leave, that your engagement means a lot to me. And it's very much the foundation of how I work. It's that consistency, that engagement that I afford myself in showing up in the way that I heal, I create my life consciously, and the relationships that I have in my life are based on that as well. So your engagement means a lot to me and it's very much appreciated, so thank you. I want to continue talking about healing and consciousness, and I've had a question following on from yesterday's post excuse me, asking, can I talk to the pain that I'm feeling? Because I speak a lot about that communication that you have with your body as you engage consciously. There's a dialogue. The body is saying, look here, with whatever it is you're feeling. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It can be intuition that you feel somewhere. And by bringing your awareness to it and acknowledging it is very powerful. You're acknowledging yourself, your experience, what you're feeling. You're starting to trust your inner guidance. Yeah. So as you're engaging consciously with whatever it is you're feeling, you can have that communication not just in the way that you are present and respond with your presence and the focus of your attention, but you can also ask questions. And asking a question when you're fully present and engaging consciously in the present moment is asking a question to consciousness. And as you're focused in the body, present in your own experience, the response you're going to get is going to be personal to you. So as an expression of consciousness, and again, there is no separation. We're in that fabric of consciousness, the quantum field, energy. And when we're engaging consciously with something we call pain, it's a feeling, it's a frequency, it's another expression of consciousness. And we can start to engage in that way and ask a question. Absolutely. And this is often what I do, is I bring my awareness to something that I'm experiencing, or I'm working with somebody else. And there's a curiosity, there's a curiosity. And it's not trying to work it out with the mind. The mind will attach to what it thinks it knows, or the story, or what's happening, what's playing out in life in a particular moment, whether it's in the past or in the present, or what's possibly going to happen in the future. But as we engage consciously and ask a question, and we observe, and we allow, we're creating a space for the consciousness to respond, whether it's held in that frequency of discomfort or pain, you're going to find what you're looking for. And everything you're looking for is within, in that space of consciousness and engagement. And what I find is that the answer will come up either in the moment. Perhaps it will be a flash of a memory. You'll be taken back to an incident, an experience where there's a knowing, there's a feeling, yes, there's a connection with what I'm experiencing here in the body and something that I remember from the past. That's the joining of the dots. Yeah, that's the puzzle bits falling into place. Or you might have an image that flashes up. And again, that image will be a clue. It'll tell you something. Or there'll be a knowing. Yeah, often I work with claircognizance. There's simply something that comes into awareness, and it's like a light bulb flashing, and it's like, of course, And either you have that natural ability and you're aware of it, or like me, I perhaps had it when I was young, but I completely shut down for years. And it wasn't until I started to reconnect where stress had disconnected me. And as I started to reconnect and be very present and observe all the discomfort I was experiencing, I'd get these flashes of inspiration and knowing and memories, and the answer would be there. So absolutely, yes, you can ask your pain or whatever it is that you're experiencing to show you the answer. But just be aware that once you do that, you don't go off in the mind and try and work it out, because that's a very natural human tendency to want to try and work it out, to try and find, to dig. And it's not about digging. It's not about psychoanalysis. It's not about, obsessively raking through what you think it might be about. It's creating a space in consciousness as you engage, and allowing whatever it is you need to know, whatever it is you're looking for, to become apparent, to awaken into consciousness, to become part of your awareness. And in that way, you can then make aligned choices. You can carry that through into your physical reality, your day-to-day, in the choices you make, in the steps, the action you choose to follow. So, and that is the conscious co-creation. It's tuning in, listening, that dialogue, that communication, observing, and then allowing for the answer to present itself. The way forward, the path. And again, it doesn't have to be about health or physical discomfort. It can be about a crossroads, a choice, a relationship that you're struggling with. It can be about anything in life. And that's the beauty of it. And it's not always when we connect that the answer will appear. And sometimes it can happen very quickly. Sometimes it can be very subtle, and it's like breadcrumbs that you're following. Sometimes it can happen when you're washing up, brushing your teeth, when you let go, actually, when you stop trying to work it out, or it will arrive in your awareness at the right time. And it's by paying attention, by being present, that you will understand that's for me. Because you'll know, there'll be a feeling, there'll be a knowing. And even if it makes no sense to anybody else, because this isn't rational, this is beyond the limitations of what is rational, that space we're so used to working in that limitation. This is beyond the rational. And that's where it takes courage to trust what you're feeling. Because you may ask around and say, well, I've just realized this, and it might not make any sense to anybody else. And I've had that a lot on my path. Some very confused looks. And it takes courage to follow what you feel, to follow your inner guidance, your intuition. But what you'll find as you do that, you're going to access everything you need in order to experience what it is that you want, or what it is you're trying to create or call into your life experience. And you'll often get there in a way that is completely different from that linear logic. And while we might think that linear logic is going to take us there faster, it's often the path in consciousness that will be the most direct line. Even if you feel like you're taking many detours and you can't see clearly ahead, it's trusting what you're feeling moment by moment. And there's a knack to it. It takes a bit of practice. And but you'll find that everything that you're looking for will be revealed in that space of consciousness. And if you think about it, when you're accessing you're engaging consciously and you're operating from or acting from that I am presence, that awareness of your expression of consciousness, there is no separation. You're accessing the information, you're accessing everything, okay? And it's not within that limited space of the mind and what it's experienced before, you've experienced before, what it thinks is rationally possible. You're accessing that unlimited potential that exists in each moment. So, play around with that. See what comes up in that space. And let go of any attachment to what it is you think you should find or how it should arrive in your awareness. Be open, be receptive, be in that energy of receptivity of receiving. And again, consistency. This is not something you just dip into and think, oh, that didn't work. It's through that consistent presence, curiosity, and trusting the process and trusting what you're feeling. And in that, you're going to find everything you need and to be able to create everything that it is you wish to experience. Okay? So we can do that to finish this post, because we haven't done a lot of practice in the last posts. And again, we'll do this with our eyes open. You can do this on your own, by doing it in a more meditative way, closing your eyes and bringing your awareness within. But just to get used to engaging consciously as we're doing something active, like listening or whatever it is we do in life. So we're dropping into the heart center if you weren't already there. And again, becoming very aware of your physical space, your physical presence, embodying that I am presence. And whatever you have going on in your life, okay, it might be a challenge, a problem, a relationship, whatever it is, or it might be something more physical that you're aware of, a discomfort, a pain, a symptom. And you're just bringing your awareness into your body from that I am presence. And you're connecting with whatever it is that is coming up. It might be very obvious, that, quite obvious tension or discomfort, or it might be more subtle. And there is no right or wrong. Again, this is your unique experience. And it's about engaging and observing as consciousness. And whatever it is you're sensing in the body, you're entering that dialogue, that flow. And perhaps you can observe that there is a flow. And even where there is perhaps tension or a block, perhaps you perceive there's a block of some kind. As you engage with it, you can see that it's not entirely solid. You can move with it, flow through it. And there's that conversation. So the body in frequency, whether it's emotional frequency or those subtle sensations that we're feeling, is communicating. And in your presence, you're part of that. You're of consciousness, and you're engaging in the way that you're focusing your attention, observing. And if you have a question, you can ask that question. Where does this come from? Or what's the solution? And again, it's not, the mind might want to jump in and have many ideas and bring its story and its limitation. And you're observing in the space that you've created. That's powerful. And there's an allowing, there's the surrender, a letting go, being open to receiving. You're waiting for the awareness to arrive rather than trying to find it out. Okay, you're engaging with consciousness. And see what comes up. Be curious, be open, be consistent. And again, over time, what you'll find is that line of communication will become more and more reliable. And you'll really start to trust what it is you're intuiting, feeling. There's your inner guidance in consciousness. Okay. So, as always, do let me know what you feel. Think about that. What kind of experiences you may have. I'll write one of mine from an early, a few years back in the comments to get the ball rolling. And as always, thank you for clicking the like button and sharing. And I look forward to seeing you in the next post.